Pry open your third eye with me, your big-headed know-it-all, polymath Scott Spackey, and guests. Change your mind, change your life. Full episodes, services, knowledge, and all you'll ever need on scottspackey.com and life-mind.com. Are you ready?
Find me where the ocean collides with the sun.
Pilar Garzon. Did I say that correctly?
Sir. Yes, you did.
Well, then why don't you introduce yourself and tell us all who you are and just tell us about yourself.
Okay. My name is Pilar Garzon. I am an associate marriage and family therapist and almost a licensed professional clinical counselor. Currently working towards licensure. I've been a student for like the past 10 years of my life, and here I am, a student of life, of scholastics, and of spirituality.
Well, when you say student for 10 years, I mean you just went and got your degree.
I just went to get my degree. Right, I got my bachelor's and my master's. Yes.
So you got your and so that's fairly recent. You just got your master's.
Yeah, yep.
And
Yes,
I got to say congratulations to you yesterday for that.
You did. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
like to be able to say, hey, she's my college friend. She's my college graduate friend.
Yeah.
I don't have
Hell
very many of
yeah.
those.
Pepperdine University.
So, and again, we have something there in common as well, as you know that I've been in private practice for a long time without a degree. And so, and I made a very successful practice for myself, and I was kind of anti all the establishment type of stuff. And I really wasn't intending to do anything. I was just simply trying to start my private practice. I wasn't even run a private practice, simply trying to do something different, change the course of my careers. And as it began as a hypnotherapist, it just kind of took off, and I really enjoyed the work. And then but I did have a problem with the fact that I wasn't making enough money. I mean, I made a lot of good money in construction, so my income was very limited. And I was like, I don't want to live like that. I mean, I want to do this because I'm enjoying it, but I still want to make good money,
Right.
take care of my family and all that. And so I went and got my certification as an addiction specialist. And things blew up overnight. I went from having a handful of clients to working, very soon within the first year or so from getting both these things together. I was working 10 hours a day, 6 days a week in a private practice office. It was insane. So as you know, the beautiful thing about it is you got to go to work. You got to go grind. You got to do something to make money and pay your bills. So now you're doing something that you get to believe in and feel good about.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Something that you can say to people when they ask you what you do for a living. Something that you can say that people kind of like, oh, that's nice. That, instead of like, oh, okay, whatever,
Yeah.
That's a nice little bonus.
Yeah.
So now tell me about your name. So yeah, I say it white man's version, Pilar. I've tried to spice it up, so you say it again for me.
Pilar Garzon.
There you go. So now what is that? So Pilon is one of my.
Pilar.
I know, but Pilon is Pilon the male version of that?
No clue. I don't know if there's a male version of that.
I've known several Pilons.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I've known several of them. Yeah. So I kind of thought. So and then I texted you yesterday. I called you Pilarita.
Yeah, that was cute. Yeah,
Well,
little Pilar.
Isn't that suffix like a little term of affection?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Doesn't it mean like cute or beautiful or something?
I think it's like little Pilar.
Yeah, little Pilar, and it's the feminine version.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're my Pilarita.
That's cute. Thank you.
All right. But has that always been your name?
No, it hasn't. Mm-mm.
So
Yeah.
let's get to today's topic, which is it's debatable whether this is the 10th annual, 12th annual, 17th annual New Year's resolution revolution. I've been doing this workshop since I began my practice. In the beginning, it began as simply a way to drum up some business and meet clients. And so I would give free workshops, and I do it once a year, the New Year's resolution revolution. I teach people how to make changes in their life. what the formulas are, what the dynamics are, how the mind works, the theory of the mind. So I've been doing it for a long time. So I'm not saying I did it each and every year because there were some interruptions, as you know, when I was killed. So I think I took that. I took that. You know what? I don't think I took that year off, but I think anyway. So I've done it consistently every year, but I've been doing it for probably nearly 15 to 20 years off and on, you know? So that's
Okay.
our topic today is the New Year's resolution revolution. Because the revolution is because resolutions most of the time do not work because people do not know that there needs to be a formula. And what you're going to find in your work as a therapist now, and what I found in my practice is that, as I said in another interview the other day, that one of my own little motto mantras, which is if change were as simple as making up our minds, we'd all be perfect, right?
Right.
It's more complicated than that. We've got to have a system. We've got to have, because we all wonder, like, we want to make some change. We want to have a New Year's resolution. Then if it doesn't work, we're like, what did I do wrong? Then we beat ourselves up. We go through this guilt kind of thing. And eventually, after several tries, we're like, you know what? I'm just not even going to bother this anymore. It just makes me feel worse for trying not being able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, what are your 2026 New Year's resolutions?
Okay. So my first resolution would be to work out more, to definitely stay more focused on taking care of myself physically. And then my second New Year's resolution would be to make time for my spiritual practices and for um, making sure that I just nurture my spirit. And I know exercise can be part of that, but I just need to make time for myself more often, and I just don't do that. And it's so important.
Well, this is what we're learning as we talk to people and explore this process of change and resolutions is that, and I'm asking everybody before they come on and talk to me about it to pick two,
Hmm.
not just one. And as I
Right.
mentioned to you the other day, pick something that's kind of like a fundamental kind of basic change, which you said, like your fitness and health and wellness,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and then something a little bit more deeper and personal, which you
Uh-huh.
just said is like your spiritual growth and your spiritual wellness,
Hmm.
right? And
Yep.
so and right away, we see a consistent theme in all these conversations that the two are intertwined. As you just said, if
Hmm.
you one assists the other and vice
Hmm.
versa.
Hmm.
When you improve your physical wellness, then you can improve your spiritual access and vice versa. You get healthier and more well spiritually, then you're obviously going to spend more time with and take more care in your physical material self, right? I'm asking everyone that I meet with to pick two resolutions. One
Uh-huh.
that, again, as I mentioned, is more generally well self-improvement kind of things, as you mentioned, fitness and wellness and
Uh-huh.
health and taking care of yourself, and then maybe something a little bit more personal, but more with more depth to it, which for you was your spiritual wellness. And so what I was saying that I noticed that they're all intertwining. That indeed
Yeah.
we see that once we serve one area of our lives, it feeds and factors into all the others. And that's an essential part of what I've been teaching to people in self-improvement and growth and expansion of their character throughout my career is that any area of yourself that you improve and make better, it intertwines with and dovetails into all the other areas that you want to get to. So, and that's kind of what this New Year's resolution revolution program is about, is to realize the most effective systems and ways to pull these things off. Because let me jump right in and ask you this. This does not sound like a brand new, never before made type of resolution. That sounds like something that millions of people are of the same idea because these are areas that are very sacred to all of us, our wellness and fitness and our spiritual well-being as well. And so have you made this resolution before?
I probably have and just didn't really put any effort into it. I
Okay.
often find resolutions to be kind of complicated because you have to commit to it, and it's hard to commit to things that I'm not putting high on my priority list.
Okay, but this year, 2026, your
Yeah,
resolution is to make this a priority and be better, more committed to it.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so here's why I'm here. Here's why I'm hosting this episode, because this is indeed things that when we're making resolutions, we realize, okay, this is something I probably should have done a long time ago, something I've overlooked and I've
Yeah,
neglected for a long time, and it's finally time to make this commitment and make it happen. But we
yeah,
also simultaneously we worry, well, I don't know if I really want to, because what if I can't keep it? I don't like that feeling. If I mean, I've wanted to for a long time, I never have. So what's going to be different this time around? And so,
right.
as you just mentioned, the level of commitment is necessary. So you kind of put it aside and postponed it to avoid it because you weren't ready. If you didn't know for sure you could make that kind of a commitment. So let's talk
Yeah,
about that. So
okay.
let's take one area first: the physical and material wellness of your body and your body and your that whole area.
Uh-huh.
What we call the material self: money, property, career, all that kind of stuff that is set aside and different from our spiritual wellness. So that area. So what is the game plan? You make a resolution. So somebody at 5 minutes before midnight says, you know what? At midnight, I'm not going to smoke anymore. I'm like, yeah, how are you going to do it? And again, as I just mentioned, if change were as simple as making up our minds, we'd all be perfect. We know what we want to be, and we even know somewhat how to do it, but we don't do it. We'd all be perfect because we all make up our minds, well, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to do that. And then we still do it. So, what is going to be different this time around? How are you going to you finally are ready to make this maybe a more formal resolution that's been on your mind for off and on through the years. This year you want to make it more formal. And you know, Pilar, that when you do that, that commitment is going to obligate you to it. You're going to feel guilty and crap if you don't do it, so you're really going to be pressured to do it. So, what's going to be different? How are you going to pull it off? You got more on your plate now. You got a whole career going. You just graduated from college. You got a whole lot more going on.
Mm-hmm.
How are you
I
going to do
do.
it?
I think I need to be more ritualistic. I think that um, I need to, as I tell my clients, to make an AM and PM ritual and include that in it, and really set aside the time um, to nurture myself. Uh, I think that's what has to happen this time around, and it has to be um, with meaningful practice.
Indeed, you do need an actual like schedule, something that you can feel and see in your own mind at least, in
Mm-hmm.
your own mind's eye at least, a date and time. So indeed, ritual, routines. That's why we have them. We have routines. The reason the doctor sets an appointment is because we know when to be there, and we don't want to show up just randomly.
Mm-hmm.
We have to have a schedule for them and for us. Everything in life. So much of, well, not everything. Our spontaneity doesn't need to be, but we got to schedule our spontaneity too. Well, you know what? On Saturday, I can be spontaneous.
Yes, yes, yes,
I'm gonna pencil. I'm gonna pen that in. That I get to be spontaneous on Saturday at noon.
yes, yes. That's exactly right.
I've
Right?
just scheduled my
So
spontaneity.
dumb. So dumb.
Right? But it's
True.
necessary, you know? And
Yeah.
so you're right. The routine to be able to, as you said, set aside. But Pilar, as you just noticed, we just got interrupted a few minutes ago because
Mm-hmm.
something came up. So when
Mm-hmm.
you schedule something, you get these routines, which I live by my routines. I have them for a long time. When I work, I'm not on the clock like, oh, it's 6 o'clock, I got to work out. No, it's for me, it's such second nature now that my wellness and these kind of routines that I live by, they're just what I do, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
so again, in the beginning, you do need a little bit more regimented, more disciplined commitment to it. You need to know what they are. And so,
Mm-hmm.
but again, we got to be prepared for life is going to get in the way. Something is going to happen. So let's say you got your routine. At 6 o'clock you do this, and at 7:30 you do that. And at 9 o'clock I wind down, I go to bed, and what all these kind of things. But what if the dog gets sick? What if somebody calls you? What if something isn't right? What if you realize no gas in the car and you got to go to work in the morning? Something comes up. What do? The first thing that goes out the window is our routine, is our personal commitments to our personal selves.
One
First thing that
hundred
leaves.
percent. One
And,
hundred
and,
percent.
and in a way, this is a virtue because the reason that we're willing to well, not willing, not the reason, the fact that many of us are willing to discard our priorities before someone else's is a virtue. I too, if my work is, I'm a helping professional as you are. My job and my work and my career is to help other people, not at my convenience when they need it. As you know, as an addiction specialist, which you've been involved with these areas as well, when people are in crisis, you can't be like, well, I'm not on the clock right now. I mean, call me in the morning when the office is open.
Right.
That person's in crisis now. If I don't intervene and do something about it, then they're going to relapse. They're going to be on dope, and that's going to be on my head. I can't have, so I got to be available when I need to be, not when it's convenient for me. So my routines, first thing to go. First thing that's going to go out the window, well, I was going to go play tennis. I was going to go hit the gym. I was going to blah, 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 was. Now I'm going to work. Now duty calls. So indeed, now, and this will happen again, as you already know, your life, so much of what percentage of your life is interruptions?
Oh my God, everything.
You can't
So
even
dumb.
calculate, right?
The only time there's really no interruption when the world stops is when I'm at work. It has to stop because
That's right. Because you
I'm
block it
so
all out.
committed to what I'm doing. Right. I'm
And you're
committed.
you got an
Yes.
obligation to an employer and all. So the shit will hit the fan. You have no choice. And so,
Well,
and
and there's a
indeed,
passion behind it too.
there's that too.
There's that passion of wanting to help others that it just can't
Aha,
hide. Yeah.
aha. So let's
Yeah.
tap into that.
Yeah.
The passion. So
Yep.
that's just it. Now, I can
Mhm.
tell you again, the fact that we have this in common, being helping professional again,
Mm.
I can't do it at my convenience. And so my choice is simple. Well, I was going to work out this evening as I usually do, but I got a crisis. I got a client in crisis. I got to deal with that first. So what am I going to do? It's either don't work out or work out later. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what we always do is, well, I wasn't expecting this, so I guess I'm going to work out later. I guess I'm going to put it off. I'm going to choose one or the other. So we postpone, and this is exactly why we're making a resolution to begin with. Because for many, many years, we wanted to do these things. We've postponed until we finally say, you know what? New Year's resolution, I'm taking advantage of that vibration, and I'm going to jump in, and I'm going to use that. Again, another promise. And again, what are we going to do differently this time to make sure that we keep it? Indeed, routines are important. And those do have to be locked in. And there's the thing, as you just pointed out, when you go to work, what time do you start work?
I get there at 9.
Okay, so are you salaried or are you hourly?
Salary.
Okay, so you're salaried, but they expect you to start at a certain time, right?
They expect us to start at 10, but I'm always early so I can make sure I do
Okay.
notes and prepare.
But if you show up at 10:30, they're going to be a little upset.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what
Can't
time
do
do
that,
you?
yeah.
What time do you work till?
4.
Again, the bottom line is 10 to 4. You have an absolute commitment, and that is not flexible. That is not variable. 10 to
Correct.
4, Monday through Friday. You belong to them. You belong to that commitment, right? And
Mhm.
this is exactly the steel trap mindset we need for our own self-care. I do this, and that's what I'm doing, and nothing else. That doesn't mean if the house catches on fire, you can't put it aside and put the fire out. You must. But unless the house is on fire, the people call, everything happens. Say, you know what? I'm not answering the phone. I'm not getting engaged. I'm not getting involved. I can't do that right now. And yes, indeed, for some people, the only way to stick to that routine and keep the commitment is turn the fucking phone off. Turn it all off, turn it down, shut it down, whatever. For that hour, those 2 hours or whatever it is, do your best to completely separate yourself from that. Otherwise, it's going to get compromised.
Yes.
The discipline and, again, commitment, what I'm advising to you, Pilar, is to modify the word commitment to discipline. Change it from a C word to a D word, because commitment has some soft edges around it. Discipline has no soft edges. It's very locked in.
Okay.
Even that subtle mentality perception can change it. This is what I'm doing. This is what I've got to do. And again, it doesn't mean if the house catches on fire, you should stop with working out and put the fire out. Of course you should. But you got to put in your mind that this is my priority. This is what I'm doing. And keep in mind also, let me give you a little back end, as we say, building websites, which I don't like to do, but I'm too familiar with it now, so I'm using the term. The back end philosophy, which is something that helps you motivate and be able to keep this commitment. Keep this one in mind. As you just pointed out, if you improve and maintain and do
Let's get her a
self-care
chair.
for your wellness, then I'm sorry, I got distracted. Yes, if the house is on fire, you got to stop what you're doing. You got to put out the fire,
Yes.
but everything else has to be blocked out and be put aside. Okay,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and you got to. So basically, again, when you go to work, that's what you do. You work for somebody else. Your time is their time now, and you block all that out. Say, I can't talk. I can't do any of these kind of things. And so we've got to make those priorities. The reality is when we allow these other things to distract us that aren't requirements, that aren't like life and death type situations, that's because
Mm-hmm.
we are looking for the way to avoid. We're looking for our subconscious mind is encouraging us to once again postpone it, neglect it, and not take care of it. We've conditioned ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We become familiar with a mindset, a lifestyle, a way of living. And so therefore our subconscious mind, as you know, is there to protect it. That's what it's designed to do. It doesn't know the difference between healthy or unhealthy. It only knows to protect what it's been installed with, what's it been designed to do. And in this case, it's to procrastinate and neglect personal care and wellness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's looking for the opportunity. So indeed, the dog will run away, the house will catch fire, things will happen. Partly because you're kind of manifesting, because there's a part of you that doesn't really want to commit to those new things. Because
Sure.
what does the subconscious mind truly fear? The unknown. What
True.
is that? And so even when things are healthy for us, they're not familiar to us. So therefore, our subconscious mind is designed to say, you know what, good or bad, I don't know. All I know is I don't know it. It's not familiar to me, so I got to reject it. I can't encourage that. The level of commitment, again, discipline and commitment, the difference between the two. Commitment has some soft edges, and discipline has some hard corners to it. And
Mm.
we need discipline. We need to be able to say to ourselves, unless the house catches on fire, that's what I'm doing at 6 o'clock. Everybody else can go to hell and be damned. And
Yeah.
here's the thought I lost that's coming back. It's because here's the back end motivation for your spiritual self that you dive into. The self affirmation, which is reminding yourself, I'm not neglecting the world or shirking my responsibilities or duties to the world around me. I'm enhancing them because when I take care of myself, as you know, then I'm more capable and give more to the world around me. And until then, I have nothing to give.
Right. Right.
Let's pause for about 40 seconds so I can share something very cool with you. Spiritual development and training services. Just like a fitness trainer, I teach and coach my students how to become spiritually fit and healthy, how to meditate, spiritual practices and exercises, mystical modalities like tarot, the I Ching, astrology, numerology, and Kabbalah, spiritual study, spiritual lifestyle, private and customized training designed to fit your spiritual goals, path or religion. Don't know which path to follow? Join me for a free consultation to discuss your spiritual goals and aspirations, and I will help design a course of study, training, and practices for you. Whether you seek enlightenment, an afterlife, or psychic and intuitive abilities, sample the power of prayer, church, meditation, astral travel, or anything your spirit yearns for. Expand your mind, expand your spirit. Visit scottspacky.com for more information. Your illumination awaits. Are you ready? So, I like a little metaphor that I use for that. Let's say you have a very important appointment with a stockbroker or some kind of investment that you're supposed to get a lot of money from. All right? Something very important. You have to take a bus because your car broke down. You got to get on a bus. The bus is there, that's pulling up. You got money in your pocket. That's all you got in your pocket. You got enough money for the bus fare. As you get on the bus, you're getting on the bus, there's a homeless man sitting by the bus bench with his hands out. Say, hey, sister, can you spare a dime? And you want to do that, but you have to choose. Do you get on the bus and keep your appointment? Or do you give that person your change? You do have change. You want to give them change. So should you get on the bus and go to your appointment? Or should you give away your money?
I do my appointment.
That's right. That's the intelligent. Bottom line is, if you keep your appointment, you might be able to come back and give something more.
Right.
But that guy could be dead by then, for all you know. So that's what nagging our mind is that if I don't do the good thing, then I'll never get a chance to do. This person needs help now. But the rule of thumb is this: You only have enough money to get on the bus. You have no extra. You have no excess. You can only give what you have and nothing less. If you give what you don't have, then you're creating a deficit within yourself and the world.
Yeah, I think that's part of the burnout in our fields, right? If we don't
Yes.
give back to
And
ourselves,
so therefore,
that's the
you
concern.
can only give what you have in excess of. So I can only give to charity what I have extra, not what I need to survive. Extra is a very relative term for all of us. That varies from person to person, obviously. But indeed, you can only give away what you have excess of. So your job, your obligation truly to yourself and the world around you is to create excess of virtue and resources so that you have enough to give away. And the only way you
Correct.
can do that is if you take care of yourself.
Yeah,
How can you take care of anybody? How can you be a helping professional if you're homesick that day?
true.
Right? So when you shut out the world for things you don't have to do that aren't life and death to take care of yourself, you're also taking care of them because you're saying, you know what? By working out, eating right, taking care of myself tonight, I'm making myself able to do a better job tomorrow to help people.
Right,
So you got to
right.
remind yourself of this to keep that discipline, to go from commitment to discipline, to remind yourself, you know what? I'm not just being selfish. My selfishness is also selfless because I'm doing it for another reason too. It's not just for me. It's also so I can be a better service to the world around me.
Yeah,
We are all servants to humanity and the world around us, aren't we?
we are
Some way or the
100%.
other, whether we
Yeah,
want to be or not. We should be. We're
yeah,
going to be. So what kind of servant do you want to be? A good one or a bad one? You're going to be one. You're going to serve the world one way or the other. Which one are you going to be? You know? So
yeah,
yes, your motivation can be very simple. You make the discipline because it's not a selfish thing to do, Pilar. It's a very selfless thing to do because how can you take care of your mother, the people around you, the clients, the people that are truly in need? In our line of work, the people that I'm serving are in true need. They're in crisis. And again,
yeah.
I can't do that at my convenience. I got to do that when they need it, not when I want to give it.
True, true.
And so charity begins at home, as they say. Take care of yourself. Make that discipline. Make that commitment. I've given you some fresh tools, I hope, to be able to make it from a commitment to a discipline. And yes, indeed. The other part, you did already all on your own already. That is to make it scheduled. Nowadays, I'm 59 years old. It's routine to me. I work out every day in the evening. I like working out in the evening for several reasons. I got a whole little system down. I'm going to go in the afternoon, hit the tennis court, get my cardio. I do that pretty much every day as well. I sit on Thursdays, and then I go out and take a walk or hike in the mountains or on the beach or some shit like that. I mix it up because I like variety. Okay. But the reality is, my routines are so routine that I don't need to schedule anymore because I've been doing it for so long. I've been working out doing this for so long that I don't no longer need to do that. But people that I'm working with when they're new at it, especially when it comes to working out and fitness routines, I tell them exactly that. Schedule the time to do it. And I says, how'd you do? And they come back to a session and say, well, I barely did anything because every time I had my scheduled workout time, I get interrupted. My kids, my dog, my blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wah. Excuses, excuses. We all got
Because they
those.
really want to do it,
Well, and
right?
but yes and no. But as you said, those are real things. But
Yeah.
are the emergencies? Do they need dealt with right now? Look, when my cat is meowing because he wants food in his bowl, look, he's a helpless animal. Yes, he gets priority. I will stop this conversation and go feed him. He can't feed himself. That's my priority, though. He's not going to starve. That's my priority. That's because I choose that to be a priority. He can't feed himself, so I'm going to take care of it. I've got to arrange in my own mind what my priorities are, which ones are not breakable, which ones are not bendable, which ones are not flexible, and which ones aren't. And I've got to set that in my mind like a steel trap so I know without having to think about it. Because when I'm thinking about it, life is passing me by. I missed my opportunity to
Yeah.
work out because I was too busy thinking about whether I could or should. Fuck
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
could have done five. I could have done 5 reps in that time.
Mm.
You know. So
Yeah.
spend the time thinking about it. Set those routines. And yes, if your workout time is at 6 o'clock and something gets in the way, well, then make it for 7 o'clock. Make it for 6:30. Don't say, "Oh well, I missed my." And I listen. I've had a lot of clients, which you're going to see in your profession. I've had a lot of clients say, "Well, I get interrupted at 6. For how long? 30, 40 minutes, I guess. I guess I could have done it. I kind of got away from it, and then the time got away. Next thing I knew, yeah, next thing you knew." That's how the subconscious sabotages us, because it's there to protect the old habits, the bad ones. Not because it wants them, because it protects anything that we program it to protect. It doesn't know the difference,
True.
So
True.
whatever you've been doing, you'll use this in your work. You're welcome to plagiarize me. I repeated this yesterday, and I'm repeating it again. One of my own little mantras and sayings for my project addiction course is that by the time you realize you are an addict, you've been one a long time.
Yeah.
Right? By the time you realize you have a bad habit, you've had it a long time. And if we're as simple as make up our mind, we'd all be perfect. So you've got to not just change your mind, you've got to replace it. You've got to rework it. Right?
Yep.
So you do know all the basics in the formula. Got a routine, got to have commitment in, and now I'm saying discipline, all that. But on also to tap into that motivation. Pilar, you are a loving, caring, you have a big heart. I've known you a long time. You have a big heart.
Thank you.
That's one of your faults in many ways. You have a big heart.
Yeah.
You know it, and I know it. You're one of these people who will absolutely neglect other people because because you'll feel guilty if you don't take care of them.
Yeah.
Right? And again, to tap into the motivation, that's going to seem selfish on the outside to be able to choose to seemingly neglect other things and other people to take care of yourself, because ultimately in the long run, how can you possibly take care of them if you do not take care of yourself? And listen, that covers the whole spectrum. If I don't sit and chill out with a beer on Saturday night and have my little vape non-nicotine and maybe a little bit of junk food on Sunday, well then I'm a bear. So
100%.
that's right. So it's like, shut the fuck up and leave me alone, because I need a beer on Saturday night, and I'm not being selfish. This is my way I'm planning to give to you, and this is why I got to do it. Because if I deal with you right now, I'm never going to deal with you again. If I deal with you right, I'm going to kill you. So shut up and leave me alone. If it ain't a crisis, if the house ain't on fire, go have that beer and do what you want to do. Take care of yourself. My Saturday evening of drinking a beer and listening to some music, that's my therapy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my medication. It's not a lot. I've got this neighbor I live in farm country. I live in some very quiet areas. It's very silent here, very nice. But I've got this neighbor that lives about a half mile away, not even, maybe a quarter mile on the other side of the hill. And he has these huge raging parties, okay? And
Nice.
I can't sit on a Saturday night, and I'm going to war with him. I mean, I'm telling him, like, I'm not just calling the cops. I'm taking you to court. You either knock this shit off, because I have every right to enjoy my Saturday evening in silence, which is why I fucking moved here, as you do to have a party. Have a party. Just keep it down. I'm not saying silent. Compromise. Turn it down, and I'll leave you alone. Keep it as it is, and I'm not going to compromise. I'm coming at you full force. Let's work together as a community. Take care of me, and I'll take care of you.
Yeah. How's that working?
It's gone a whole lot better. The jury's still out completely thus far, but I put the fear of God into him, basically. I think he does know that I will take this to the nth degree. And no one else in the community was doing that. And I basically was kind of like, there's a new sheriff in town, and that's not going to fly anymore. You're being selfish, and I'm calling out on it. And I'm being nice. I mean, he came over, we talked like caballeros. I live in a very Mexican community, so I said, come over, we'll discuss it like caballeros, Am I saying it badly?
It's okay. It's okay.
No, but
It's all right.
correct how I pronounce it. Caballero.
Caballero. Caballero.
See, even as I see the transcript on the bottom of the screen here, like, see, me it's Caballero. Yours is CAV. Yours is nice. So this expands 20-fold when you talk about your spiritual wellness, because indeed, this is a requirement, especially as a helping professional.
Yeah.
And it needs
Very
to be
much so.
complete,
And I feel it.
And
I
it needs to
feel
be
it.
sacred, and it needs to be very sacred and private, very
Yeah.
separate. My spiritual life is mine. I'm not saying I don't share it. You're welcome to join me in my meditation room. Welcome to join me, listen to Kirtan. Join me at the ashram. Go to India with me. That's totally fine. But don't prevent me from doing it. You can join me, but do not prevent me from doing it. All right? So you've got to commit and discipline to that too. And that is your sacred area. And again, just like you said about the other things, your spiritual wellness needs discipline, needs routine, needs schedule in the beginning. Here's a saying I think you've heard me say before in our workshops that we're spiritually focused. In the beginning, you do your sadhana. And in the end, sadhana is all you do. Sadhana is the Sanskrit word for spiritual practice. And this is from the Be Here Now book by Ram Dass. He's actually quoting Neem Karoli Baba. In the beginning, actually it's a quote in the Vedas. In the beginning, you do your sadhana. And in the end, sadhana is all you do. In the beginning, I do my workout. In the beginning, I do my diet. In the beginning, I do these things. And in the end, that's just what I do.
Yeah. 100%.
It becomes your lifestyle. It's not
Yeah.
something you really have to like focus on discipline. I don't really think about when I'm going to work out. Sometime this evening. Certainly when it gets a little bit late, I start thinking like, well, better get on it because I know that I'm going to be hungry around 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I better get done before then because I'm going to want to eat.
Yeah. Yep.
So that kind of pushes me. That motivates me. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get my workout in. Not really because I want to run and do it, because I want to get it over with. Because I'm not going to let myself have dinner until I do it. So I better get going.
And that's good. That's good that you do that.
Same with your spiritual practice and your sadhana as well. Design what it is. Again, for me, my guru played more than a major role in that. The Vedas, the Upanishads, the scriptural things that I rely on that taught me how these things work, taught me how to do my sadhana. Again, some people need to go to a gym and get a trainer. Personally, I got trained from my ex-convict friends that worked out in prison. I never went. These guys knew how to work out, so they trained me how to weightlift. They trained me how to do it. That's where I learned from. And some of those people, Rick, and some. So those are the guys that kind of trained me. Now I don't need them. Now I work out because they taught me out, and I took that knowledge with me. Same with your sadhana. You learn from the experts. You learn from the pros. You learn from the Buddhas. You learn from the acharyas. You learn from the sattvic personalities that have graced the earth, and then you stick to it.
100%. Yeah.
Let's pause for about 40 seconds so I can share something very cool with you. Change your mind and change your life. Break bad habits, solve addictions from alcohol to ecstasy, shopping to sex. Solve anxiety, depression, confidence, and motivation. Find direction and purpose. Life is bright when it is good and we are living to our potential. Life is long and dull when our potential remains dormant. Your potential and purpose are already inside you and waiting for you. It doesn't need to be created. It needs to be uncovered and revealed. My services include live counseling, video courses, books, and mentoring through email and text. Visit scottspacky.com for your options. Let's get started. Are you ready? Set your schedule, set your routines, do something that's real that you can actually commit to. Maybe it's only 10 minutes in the morning. Maybe it's 20 minutes. I don't know. Make it conservative so it's safe, even if it's small, because you can always expand it from there. But what you don't want to do is say, well, I got to do an hour, and if I can't do an hour, I'm not doing it at all. Nope.
Yeah,
make
that
it
will work.
make it 10 minutes. And if you do that easily without any disturbance, well, then next week make it 20 and ramp up from there. Eventually, have a goal in mind. What do I want to get it to? Me personally, I wanted to get my nightly, week, or daily sadhana up to at least a half hour in the morning, half hour at night. Okay, maybe more. That's what I do minimally, and on weekends maybe a bit more. So I have a goal. I know what I want minimally, and I know what I would like to eventually arrive at all time. Now I've been doing that again, just like working out for so long that I wouldn't say sadhana is all I do, but generally I don't really need to like go and do my sadhana, but I do think it's very important to have a very formal sadhana, very formal spiritual practices and routines. It has a different flavor, different brand, it has a different sense of pleasure to it. I like the formal sadhana as well. The rest of the time, it's just whatever I'm at. I mean, on Thanksgiving, because I live alone, I didn't have any family near me. I was like, you know what? I got the whole world to myself. Everybody else is doing their own like holiday thing. I went to the Elkhorn Slough, which is an estuary up here, and
Mm.
it was closed. So I stepped over the little wall they got there. I had the entire acres of estuary to myself. No one person was even. It was gorgeous. I had the whole thing to myself.
Mm.
It was so fucking beautiful. I was like, oh my god, this is
Oh,
great.
that's been incredible.
And it was a very spiritual. So I meditated. I did my sadhana the entire time I was in there walking around, thinking of God and thinking of spirituality, thinking of all the loving things. And it was easy to do because I was in such a wonderful place. I went from feeling sorry for myself. Oh, it's Thanksgiving. I'm all alone. This kind of sucks. To, oh my God, it's Thanksgiving. I'm all alone. I got nobody to answer. This is awesome.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
You know, you got to work with what you got. So what I'd like to hear from you is those routines. If you're a client of mine, I would insist on it. I would say your homework assignment is not next time I see you, which is usually a week between sessions. I would say by the end of tomorrow, I want an email detailing, bullet pointed, what your routines are going to be for your fitness and your sadhana and your spiritual wellness. I want to see it. And then I'm going to give you some notes. I'm going to feed it back to you and try to sharpen it up and make it a little bit better. Make it something you can actually do. I'm going to challenge it a little bit, you know? But again,
Okay.
see what I'm doing, Pilar, is I'm obligating, as you do with your clients, I'm obligating a commitment. I'm making them not just committed to themselves, but committed to me, someone they look up to, someone that's helping them.
Yeah.
We had a guest on the other day, and same thing. I obligated to her to commit. I said, look, I'm going to give you my smoking cessation program. It's only like 120 bucks. I'm going to give it to you. You've been my guest here today. This is what you need to do is quit smoking. I'm going to give the solution program to you on one condition. She said, what's the condition? I said that you do it. If you don't want to do it, then I'm not going to give it to you. But I'm happy to give it to you if you just promise me you'll do it, because I know you. I've gotten to know you, and I know that if you can promise to me, you'll keep that. You'll break promises to yourself, but you won't make promises to me.
Right. Isn't that
Well,
interesting? That we'll break promises to
Isn't it?
ourselves, but not to another human being.
That's right. That's why I'll make promises to my son. I'll say, yeah, I want you to hold this over me, because I want him to think the best of me. I respect him. I want his admiration. So, but if I promise me, I'm like, what the fuck do I care about? I don't give a fuck what I think. I don't matter. Oh, that person, no. If it's a girlfriend, again, my son, who I look up to, he's a hero to me. I wouldn't ever want him to say, so you didn't keep your commitment, huh? Wow, that's too bad, man. Look down on me in any way. I'm gonna earn it. So yeah, make that commitment. So that's what I do with my clients. They're committed to me. They feel obligated to me because I'm their helping professional. They trust me. They respect me, which I've earned it by helping them and doing as much as I can. So I like to earn it. So that way, when they promise, I say, don't promise yourself, promise me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to find the person that you promise to, whether it's your mother, your dog, your cat, a neighbor, some imagined person, fictional and fantasy even. Make a promise. And again, for me as a spiritual person, I can promise my guru. Oh my God, I'm certainly not going to betray that promise.
For
Christians,
sure. For sure.
Yeah. The good Christian can promise Jesus, man. What are you going to do? Because then when you break that promise, you're gonna be so overwhelmed. You're gonna I'll do it right now. I'll do it. I'm not gonna piss off. I'm do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got to box ourselves into a corner. So, what are you going to do to keep this commitment, to set some routines and set a schedule? Now, New Year's Eve is a few weeks away. You've got some time, but yeah, you don't want to wait. You don't want to wait till midnight. And
True.
I say, and here's something else I'll say to you. Why wait till New Year's Eve at all? When I was in Washington, had to learn how to walk again. I learned how to walk. My son was going to come and visit. I was actually going to go visit him back in LA. And
How is he, by the way?
hold on, I'm choking back as soon as I get this memory. And I thought, What I want to do more than anything, I want to play catch with my son, who's an
Hmm.
all-star motherfucking baseball player. He's a
Hmm.
firefighter now. He and I raised him
Hmm.
at Dodger games, and I'm like, and since
Hmm.
my accident, I was told I'd never walk again, wouldn't live, blah, 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 all that crap.
Uh-huh.
And I said, what? I want to be able to play catch with my son, and I can't do that. I will fall on my fucking face. And I thought, I committed. I said, you know what? I'm going to, every morning I take a walk, and every evening I take a walk, I'm going to run. I'm going to take a few steps, and I'm going to try to run just a little bit and see if I can do it. And I was like, okay, so I'm having this dialogue in my own head. And it was, okay, so on your next walk, I said, so on my next walk, I'm going to try to run just a little bit. And my mind said, your next run, what are you doing right now? I'm like, well, it's not running time. Like, it's my afternoon time. So what are you doing right now? Get off your ass and go do it. Get up right now, put your fucking shoes on and go do it. What else you got to do?
True.
Why are you waiting? If it's a good idea, why not do it now? Why wait till Saturday to start your diet? Why wait till New Year's Eve to begin your resolution? Why not do it now?
Now.
If you're going to do it, yeah, literally, why not? Is there some reason why you can't? Are you going to spontaneously combust and catch fire? No. So then go ahead and do it now. Why not?
And it's nice to have the conversation, right? The conversation helps to propel momentum as well because now we have the thoughts going. We have the idea, you have the encouragement from another human
Yeah.
that you can do it, like do it now. So that's like a huge thing
Yeah.
also. Like even having this conversation is exciting me to want to start doing this and planning this now. So
That's the motivation. Yeah.
I like
So
that.
so why wait? Why wait till New Year's? If you're going to do it, then do it. Get on it. You'll feel better about it. And again, think you can kind of ease your way in. But again, don't wait and dread it. Just go ahead and put it in motion.
Yeah, I agree.
So when will you have some type of hammered out discipline, routine, and schedule?
Probably when we hang up, when we
Wait.
disconnect, I'll create something.
Did you just begin that answer with a four-letter word?
You mean with a yawn?
No, you said probably.
Yeah,
That is a four-letter word.
really.
I will probably do it one way. Either are you or aren't you? And
No,
if
I'll
you're
do
not,
it.
that's fine. Tell me tell yourself, tell me, and I represent your own ego and id right now. Tell yourself, tell me when are you going to sit down, write out this little schedule and routine. Or let me make it a little bit softer for you. And that's not necessarily when are you going to, when are you going to have it done by?
I could have it done by this evening.
Okay. See, I love that. That sounds reasonable. Sounds like you can do
Yes,
it, right? Yeah, you don't know
yes.
like when the minute is you can do it, but by so that means that if you start to go to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock, I don't know when you go to bed. Let's say you start to go to bed and you suddenly look at the clock and go, oh shit, I never did it. I forgot. I got busy. Then what are you gonna do?
I'm going to make it a priority.
You're gonna get the fuck up out of bed and you're gonna do it right then. Say,
Yep,
I blew it, but I got to do it. The house on fire. I got to put it. I can't wait till tomorrow. I forgot, but now I got to do it.
yep, 100%. Yes,
So what did you say? You
this
said
evening.
by this evening. So
Yes.
again, evening's a very, very loose and ambiguous term. I'm boxing you in here. What's evening? That's a very relative
So,
term. That's different for everybody. How about you say before you go to sleep tonight?
oh, sure, sure.
Okay. So before you go to sleep tonight, you'll have at least a loose reference of routines and schedules, or what for your physical and your spiritual wellness.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. And considering and let's assume that it's not going to be perfect the first draft that you make. When will you be able to look at and kind of refine it and kind of polish it up? When do you think you can get a finished final copy, a final draft?
I don't know, by tomorrow morning, maybe? Tomorrow evening? Tomorrow evening, maybe?
God willing. I mean, it might take a couple tries. Who knows? And that's fine. So yeah. So within a day or two, you're going to have a finished Final draft is yes, this is my routine. All right, and I'm going to push even further because I'm having some success here. I'm having some fun. So now, if we know you're going to have a you're going to have a hard draft final copy of a schedule and routine and plan, when we start to put it into action.
Immediately. I'll put it in action immediately.
Okay, so what are you saying? The moment you put the pen down from the final word on it,
Yeah.
that's when you're going to get up and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
think it's important. I think it's really, really important. I think
I,
this year is going to be an amazing year if I stay focused and true to my goals.
I'm gonna advise you. I'm gonna advise you a little bit differently. I'm gonna say that within a couple days you should have the final draft done, and certainly within 24 hours of finishing that, then you should do your first. You should actually be putting it into action. You should do your first so-called meditation or workout or the both. I mean, because
Okay.
let's say you finish the final word on that thing at midnight, and you're going to bed. I mean, yeah, it's not time to get up and go to work out. So you
True.
say so, but first thing in the morning. So whatever your schedule is, when you get done with the schedule, making the schedule, the very next one that comes around, whatever's on the schedule, you do the one that's scheduled next. You do it.
Okay.
Well, Pilar, I certainly hope so. And for you, and I hope that you'll share with me your progress because everyone, me and everyone, people do this all the time. You're going to find this as a counselor too. People will call you the moment they're in crisis, but they rarely call you when they want to share, when you have good news to share. And I remind all my
True.
clients, I'm like, look, don't just call me when you're about to relapse and when something wrong would happen, when something bad happened. Call me when you've had some success and you just had a great idea. Call me when you've had a clean day and you weren't on drugs. Share the good stuff with me too. I like that. I don't get enough of that. So if you are up for it and you feel like sharing with me your progress, please do.
Okay.
I and anyone who
Cool.
listens to this podcast will be rooting for you and cheering you on, and we'll be motivated too because we're thinking, you know what? As I was thinking, I was thinking of procrastinating on something. I'm like, this person is doing it, and I just found that out. So if she's going to do it, I'm going to do it too. You know what I
Well,
mean?
good. That's
Yeah.
true. That'd be neat.
Well, I'll be saying it for sure because if I'm putting something off and you text me or you email me and you say, "Here you go, I'm done with number one. Here I am doing it. Here I'm doing it." But like, oh shit, I better get busy too. I don't want to be that lazy fucker. She's outshining me. I like to turn everything into a competition. It motivates me.
That's awesome.
Even my sadhana, my spiritual practices. There's a pracharak, a priest at my ashram that I'm very close to. He and I are very competitive people. We're both alpha males, right? We're very competitive. And so even though we don't say anything, there is this little sense of competition for like doing our sadhana, doing it well, being disciplined by it. Well, I was in the temple like 6 a.m., so I don't know where you were. Healthy competition.
It's good.
Yeah. All right.
That's
Well,
good.
anything else you want to share as we wrap up here?
No, I think this was a good conversation. I think it was very needed. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Well, until next time, leave your third eye open. Full episodes, services, knowledge, and all you'll ever need on scottspacky.com and life-mind.com.
Ocean collides with the sun.
Spiritual development and training services. Just like a fitness trainer, I teach and coach my students how to become spiritually fit and healthy, how to meditate, spiritual practices and exercises, mystical modalities like tarot, the I Ching, astrology, numerology, and Kabbalah, spiritual study, spiritual lifestyle. Private and customized training designed to fit your spiritual goals, path or religion. Don't know which path to follow? Join me for a free consultation to discuss your spiritual goals and aspirations, and I will help design a course of study, training, and practices for you. Whether you seek enlightenment, an afterlife, or psychic and intuitive abilities, sample the power of prayer, church, meditation, astral travel, or anything your spirit yearns for. Expand your mind, expand your spirit. Visit scottspacky.com for more information. Your illumination awaits. Are you ready?